Hey guys, welcome to another episode of our show. I'm David Abertzazi. This is Ethan Casales. And a new addition to our team is Steve. Steve, say hello to the folks.
Hey folks.
So we are going to talk about, as James Franklin would say, Rutgers. So looking back at what could have been a very, very unfortunate result in Indiana, the Lions pulled out a 45-31 win on the road, but at what cost? Well, they lost Paris Palmer, left tackle, for the season, which is a tough loss given that he came in as a highly touted JUCO recruit.
And really anchored that left side of the line this year after not really putting up the kind of performances you would have liked to have seen last year, but really kind of held his own.
Yeah, no, I give him a lot of credit because he was demoted. He looked like he wasn't really going to play. I mean, Andrew Nelson being the anchor on that left side, well, he goes down. Paris Palmer really came into his own, and
right.
It's a shame that he couldn't finish out the year, but Connor McGovern is expected to play next week, which is a very, very good sign for the Lions, who need all the help they can get, especially against a tough Rutgers front. Looking ahead at Rutgers, it's a 2-8 team. There's not a whole lot to be excited about, but they do have some talent on that defensive line. It starts with redshirt senior defensive tackle Darius Hamilton. Recorded 155 tackles in his career, 11 sacks. He's a disruptive force and was labeled a game wrecker by Coach James Franklin. So he's a player to watch.
Guy on offense you're going to want to look out for is Robert Martin, local guy from Harrisburg. He's really their premier bell cow in the backfield.
Yeah, no, really deep backfield too that they have there. Well, the biggest problem that they're going to face is the offensive line. That's been the biggest problem the last couple of games where, they've been putting up less than 100 yards a game. But Robert Martin is the dude that's put up a couple 100-yard games this season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Penn State's defensive line can muster. Torrance Brown coming off a big game where he had fumble recovery for a touchdown. Isn't that correct? Touchdown.
It is, yeah.
Big, just a deep defensive line for Penn State. They're looking to eat on Saturday, and I think they're going to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing to watch out for with Rutgers is they're giving up 134 first quarter points, folks, and only scoring 27 of their own. So if the Lions can get off to a fast start, it should be smooth sailing.
It's still a hostile environment to go in there. It's probably Rutgers' biggest game of the year, fan-wise, too.
Right.
And if you look at who they played, they've gotten blown out, 3 times now?
Yeah.
They've also played 3 really good games against a couple of really good teams. If you look at the Iowa game, if you look at Minnesota, where Minnesota needed a last-second field goal to come in and win that game, and if you look at Indiana, where it was 1 possession, it's not like Penn State went out and really blew out those teams either.
Right.
So it could be, if they don't get off to a fast start, Penn State could have some problems if they let Rutgers hang around.
See, you say blown out. I mean, Rutgers has taken this to a completely different level. Outscored 158-0 against Ohio State, Michigan State, and Michigan combined. There's not a lot of scoring going on, but
special teams, they are holding their opponents to only 6 of 14 on field goals, so they watch for a couple fireworks on that side of the game.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see, again, like Stevie said, the crowd turnout. I mean, Rutgers really prides itself on its rivalry with Penn State. Be that what it may, a perceived rivalry, that might not be reciprocated on the Penn State end. But alas, it's a rivalry, I guess, and they can have their rivalry. And hopefully the fans, for Penn State fans, we hope the Rutgers fans go home very disappointed. But at this,
see with that scarlet out in the student section.
Yeah, at this point, we're fairly certain that there's no more disappointment within that fan base. It's more of an acceptance. So, again, we're hoping Penn State can pull this one out. This is supposed to be a breeze. Nothing ever really is, especially with Penn State football. But hey, let's hope for the best. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. I'm David Abertzazi.
I'm Ethan Casales.
And I'm Steve Connolly.
We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.